Merrygo. Do I look at you?
Yeah.
Okay. My parents bought 2 dogs my senior year of high school, and they were Merrygo's parents. Both of them are Australian Shepherd mixed with Corgis. Halfway through my freshman year of college, they had the babies, and Merrygo was one of them. She actually was the biggest baby of them all, and she was actually the first one to open her eyes. And she was just so cute. I could literally like remember that she was like about this big in my hands. And she was just so precious. So when she finally opened up her eyes, I'm pretty sure I have a photo of somewhere of her when she was a puppy, but her eyes were 2 different colors. One was blue like her dad's, and then the other was brown like her mom's. And obviously when puppies are first born too, both of their ears are down, and naturally all of her siblings' ears all started to pop up, you know, like having corgi ears. And Merrygo was like halfway there because she really put a lot of effort into her first ear, and then the other ear just never came up. So it's really funny because if you like divide her face in half, it's very much 2 different dogs. Like, so one side of her has like a blue eye with her ear slouched down. The other side has a brown eye with the ear right up. I had to go to college again for my sophomore year. I moved back out of the city, and I got like a call from my dad. I don't even know when it was, but we had a really, really big scare with Merrygo. We had a super big scare with Merrygo as a puppy. Hold on, let me see. Because I think my dad can probably tell this story the best.
So the only one that wasn't running around was Merrygo. So I noticed that she was real sad and she didn't want to eat. And her eyes looked pretty droopy, and I got kind of concerned. I made the decision to take Merrygo to the veterinarian hospital. When the veterinarian doctor came out and told me, hey, your puppy Merrygo has parvo. We don't know if she's gonna make it. So we're gonna give her some medication. If you follow instructions, more than likely we'll be able to save her life. I said, no, do whatever you can to save her life. I'll pay whatever it takes. So all our corgis pups were given to our family members, and Merrygo was the last one that we actually gave away to our family members, which it was given to y'all. The rest is history.
She was a very frightened dog for whatever reason. So she gets scared pretty easily. She would sometimes even there's been multiple times where she would see her own shadow and like just completely like freak herself out or jump. I would even sometimes do like if we were outside with her, even if like a little pebble like hit her butt, she would like full on like leap in the air because she got so scared. So she definitely has lots of anxiety, which I think is really sad, but also kind of cute because it makes her really cuddly and very needy at times. She lived with my parents all throughout my college life because I was an RA, so I couldn't have pets with me in the dorm. We did joke though about me getting an emotional support license, not for me, but for her, like an emotional support human, because she was so anxious at the house. And so every time I would see her too, I would just give her like so much love and always tell her, you know, like, you're gonna come live with me one day, you're gonna come live with me one day. And so, you know, everybody kind of knew that like Merrygo was like my puppy and my dog. So my parents took care of her that entire time I was in college. So We got our first apartment, and of course we couldn't have dogs in it either. So when I finally graduated and we moved into a house, I was finally able to bring Merrygo with me, and I was so excited. She's just the sweetest dog. She loves to like dance, and so her and I, like the first few months, because we were kind of still in quarantine when we were living in this house, the first few months we would have like little dance parties where I would tell her like, oh, okay, like, come on, Merrygo, do you want to dance? Do you want to dance? And I would put music on, and her and I would just be like dancing, and her primarily, she'd be crawling, where she would have like her back two legs being the only thing crawling, and her paws would be on the front inching forward while she looked up at you smiling, which looks a little creepy at first, but she's just living her best life, loving life. And so we would do that a lot. And I didn't know how she would adjust to Edward, because Edward was like just a stranger, and she had met him in the past, and like I said, because she's a very anxious dog, she'd be very like nervous around strangers.
I was at first not fond of the dogs. I like the dogs, but I guess it was because they didn't know me. They were just always like so anxious and scared of me.
Especially Edward with his camera. Like there's a handful of videos where he's trying to film Merrygo, and Merrygo's just freaked out. Like, who is this guy? Like, who's this weird man? Like, what is he holding? Why is he coming towards me? Like, she would kind of really freak out and like flat out just run away from him.
It's like I try and pet, and they'd run away, and I didn't really get to build an actual solid relationship with any of them. So I just knew them as like Christiana's family pets.
So when we moved in, I was like, okay, I really hope that she can get adjusted to having him.
It wasn't until we moved into the house that I started to really treat Merrygo as like my own, and I made more of an effort to play with her, to give her attention, to take her out. We'd go on little walks, and slowly it was almost like Merrygo saw that I wasn't going anywhere, and she started to like, I guess, trusting me more as like this stranger who then became somebody that she would see regularly, which then I think led into the relationship that we have now. I freaking love Merrygo so much.
It kind of all went downhill from there, because I was no longer Merrygo's favorite. Turns out, I guess when you spend too much time with Edward, he has this infectious feeling where I guess you just have to like him. And Merrygo took that to an extreme, because now she loves him, and she has put me as the second person in her life, which I'm like so annoyed about, but I mean, I get it.
Merrygo genuinely makes me laugh. She has this personality to her. It's easy for me to say as like a dog owner, but man, she makes me laugh so much, and she just has like this like quirky, derpy is probably the better word, personality about her that I wouldn't change a single thing. She's perfectly imperfect, and I love her for it.
I always joke with her, and I'm always like, oh, you're such a mommy's girl, I love you, while I'm like literally holding her, and she's trying to get away from me to go to Edward. But I do know that obviously she loves me, because when we do go out in public, she's always has to be near one of us. It's never just like she's by him, or when we're at family events, or if we're in different rooms of the house, she'll kind of do this thing where she'll come check on him, then she'll come check on me, and she'll kind of stay with us for a little bit, and she'll kind of just go back and forth with that. I'm
very grateful to Christiana for bringing her.
He had always kind of had used me before too for like photo practice. Like he'd be like, oh, I really want to play around with this edit, or I really need to work on color. And so I would get dressed up, and I would like, he would go and he would like take portraits of me, he would take portraits of my friends, and just to practice various sorts of lighting, or composition or just things to like improve his practice.
It meant a lot that I was able to have Christiana and friends of ours to practice photography with, but I always felt kind of guilty for like taking their time, if that makes sense. But with Merrygo, I was able to practice whenever, however long I needed to practice. And I didn't have to worry about her feeling like I was taking her time because she's a dog who wants to play.
When we got Merrygo, you know, ironically, it turns out, you know, she doesn't really care what we really do with our time. She's just happy to be there. And so Edward actually started using Merrygo for a lot of photo practice, and she got a lot less scared of the camera. The difference is like crazy. It's like night and day, where she'll literally pose, I feel like.
She's a dog who wants human attention. She wants to be able to go out. She wants to be able to mess around with the toys or food, and the camera just became a part of that. The camera just became a sign to her that we're about to do something together. And so she asked me, you know, you have this body of work, you have all this quality stuff, but it's just sitting on like a hard drive. And
he just had like so many great photos of her, and especially too since she's become more comfortable and since he's able to have like the time to be able to do that. And so, you know, he's done so many portraits of her that I was like, you know, we should do something with these. Or
I post social media, but like looking at a photo through a screen is not even close to the same thing as a physical print. So she asked me, what are you gonna do with this? And we kind of both came up with a bit of a cute idea.
We should like kind of commemorate these in some way, because she's just such a big part of both of our lives. And I just think that it's really great that he's been able to have so many, I guess, successful shoots with her.
So hence this whole documentary, and we went ahead and put together something special for order. Time will tell, and I think it was a fun idea, and we're gonna see how it comes out.